Yo, what's good, y'all? Shadow Conan. Welcome to Syncing with the Shadow. Today I want to go over the shadow balance and also your core identity and how it really factors into the way you express yourself, and also some of the core principles that have to do with terms like shadow wounds, like I said, true balance and things like that, and true embodiment as well. So I'm going to start with shadow wounds. Shadow wounds, and mainly how to expand past your trauma and certain experiences from the past that still kind of like haunt you inside of your mind, right? Acknowledge the wound, don't avoid, feel to heal, feel without becoming it, allow emotions to move without control. This means to kind of like observe the different emotions that flow through your awareness yourself. I want to say I was gonna like make that overly complicated, but we're gonna make that simple. Um, we also have released the story. You are not your past. You are the observer. Every time you tell yourself certain stories about your character, who you are, who you've always been, what people have always done to you, you're tying yourself to a certain aspect of your identity that is causing certain cracks in your foundation, which cause you to manifest certain experiences you'd rather not have. Your spirit doesn't really have like abandonment issues or mother wounds or like father wounds or your spirit wasn't abused and things like that. So when you keep telling yourself those stories over and over again without alchemizing them, you kind of put yourself in this victim mentality where your character always goes through certain very tragic, transformative experiences that have a lot to do with pain. Because that's how your ego is taught to expand is through pain. So when we kind of release the attachment to that intense transformation and associating it with very painful experiences, we can kind of transform in the same way without tying ourselves as deeply to, you know, those terms like dark night of the soul and things like that. Because it's not the worst thing in the world, but it can be kind of limiting at certain times. Integrate and transmute, your shadow becomes your strength. That's a fact. Whenever you integrate your shadow, whenever you integrate power from the shadow and you integrate the lessons that you learn from that experience, you are naturally bringing your inner world to a higher frequency and naturally making that blind spot that you had a strength instead. That way, your trauma is not your end, integration is your ascension. Exactly. Integration is the entire point, which is how we come to how to embody true balance. This is the balance point. Balance is alignment, mind, body, and spirit in harmony. Honor our parts, light and dark, masculine and feminine. Stay grounded, anchor in your body, breathe and be present. Stay in flow, adapt without losing your center. Live in devotion, align with truth, and act with integrity. All these different principles have to do with true balance. True balance is operating in freedom and also discipline, meaning everything that you do has a purpose to serve your higher self, but you do not restrict yourself from the human experience. You still allow yourself to have a human experience. Some people get so like addicted to the whole balance um hustle mindset, I want to say, that comes from the old world. And it makes it very hard to operate in balance because sometimes you need to express your shadow. Sometimes you need to operate outside of this like Saturn energy and let yourself be more free flowing. And a lot of people struggle with that because they feel like if they slip up, then, they might as well just slip up fully. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't really give themselves those up and down moments. And when you really allow yourself to have grace and give yourself grace, and it's like, okay, I needed to express my shadow in a certain way, that doesn't mean that you always allow yourself to act out of alignment. When there's a certain aspect of your darkness that needs to come out, you allow that to happen. Balance is not perfection, it's presence. That's a fact. Presence is all about understanding who you are in this moment and what exactly it is that you're being asked to do for a higher reason.